First, breaking news, Washington State. 2 days ago, we put out the alert about a young mom, Shantina Smiley, and her beautiful 8-year-old boy. They head out to visit their grandfather 120 miles away. In the last hours, a body washes ashore, Fox Island, Pierce County, Washington. The boy's T-shirt pulled up over his face. Is it 8-year-old little Azriel? One of the last sightings, mommy buying a jug of wine. The little boy standing there at her side.
It looks to be an abandoned car or a stolen vehicle on my beach property.
Breaking news, and it looks to be sad news.
It's partially submerged.
Police have found the body of a young boy.
It makes no sense.
The body was found on the shore this afternoon.
We have no idea what happened.
Authorities have not made a positive ID.
It's really bizarre.
We do not know if it's little Azriel Carver.
We just don't know.
There's no rational explanation for why Shantina's van ended up abandoned.
Okay, do you see anything, anybody inside, or?
No.
And stuck on a Puget Sound beach Saturday night.
Doors are all open.
Shantina and her 8-year-old son were last seen driving all over Olympia.
This video shows Shantina and her son at a West Olympia mini-mart about 8 p.m. Saturday.
She's very intelligent, well-read, well-spoken.
She was apparently lost and could be seen on the video looking at a map and getting directions. Workers say her behavior was odd and she fell in the parking lot.
On the darker side of that, you have to wonder, does somebody have her?
Straight out to Ed Troyer, spokesperson, Pierce County Sheriff's Department, joining us, Fox Island, Washington. Ed, thank you for being with us. What can you tell us about the little boy's body that is washed ashore?
Well, we've positively identified it as being missing boy from Thurston County. And once we processed the scene here in the last half hour and got a better look, he had the mohawk haircut, and we unraveled the clothing, and it was the same clothing that you last saw in the surveillance video. So his father is here. We went ahead and made notification, and the medical examiner has taken him from the scene on a boat because we're down below some cliffs, and they're going to have to take him by water back down to the city where the medical examiner's office is.
Oh, Mr. Troyer, Sheriff Troyer, I hate to hear it so much. Do we know the cause of death on little Azriel?
Well, that'll be determined tomorrow during the post. Right now, as you know, water, being in the water for a few days, causes trauma on a body, so we're not going to be able to determine anything here at the scene. That's going to have to be done in a more clinical setting, and we'll be waiting for the medical examiner's office to do their post and give us the information. And we're working with the other county where he disappeared. Their detectives are out here as well, and we'll all be working together on this tomorrow.
Sheriff, how far is this Fox Island from where the mother's gold van was left abandoned?
Well, it's going to be about 15 miles straight across the water and around 2 or 3 islands. But, this is Puget Sound, so the tide moves really fast through some of these channels. So it's not unreasonable to think that if his body was in the water, that it would come this far, this quickly. In fact, we've had him go a lot further away than that when people got in the water here in Puget Sound. So it's pretty consistent with him being in the water where that van was.
And no sighting whatsoever of the mother's body?
No, we have a Coast Guard helicopter doing the shoreline searches right now. We have our divers doing the waterline searches, and we're walking the driftwood along the shore throughout the area, trying to determine if she's in this area too. And when the tide comes back up and back out tomorrow, we'll be doing the same thing to see if she is washed up. Because if she would have went in the water in the same location that he did, chances are they'd be close.
Everyone, to those of you that are just joining us, a few nights ago we put out the alert for a missing mom, a beautiful young woman, and her 8-year-old little boy. They headed out on a 120-mile trek to go see the grandfather. They never showed up. They were spotted in various locations at gas stations, mini-marts. They pulled in at somebody's home trying to find directions. She had never been to this location before. And now this. We do have video surveillance of the little boy. You see him right there, standing by his mother's side. One of the last sightings was of the mom buying a jug of wine. The little boy standing there with her. Back to Sheriff Ed Troyer, the spokesperson, Pierce County Sheriff's Department, joining us, Fox Island, Washington. Sheriff, did you find the jug of wine also?
Oh, no. We just found the body washed up on shore. There was nothing else on the beach with it. Those pretty isolated beach. There's nothing, no homes or anything within 300 or 400 yards in either direction. So obviously it came up when the tide came up high because the body was sitting right where the high tide line was. And as far as anything else, there was nothing else here. And if that was found down in Thurston County with the actual scene where this all started with, I wouldn't know that.
Right. You know, Sheriff Troyer, I do believe you're correct about it being found in the other jurisdiction. To Matt Azriel, our producer on the story, Liz, let's show that shot of items recovered. Wasn't the jug of wine discovered half empty?
Yes, it was, Nancy. It was discovered about a quarter of a mile from where the van was found. Now, she was seen at the mini mart on surveillance at about 7:50 p.m. Saturday night buying the jug of wine. The jug was found half empty, corked, not broken at all.
We are taking your calls out to Ann in New Hampshire. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Nancy. A pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you for calling in. What's your question, dear?
My question is, I thought I heard somebody say that they witnessed her stumbling and falling after buying the wine. Why would anybody let her get in the car and drive with a young child after seeing that? I just feel the public needs to be more involved when it comes to a case of a child and stand up and go to that woman and say, you should not be driving. You know what I'm saying, Nancy?
I know exactly what you're saying, Ann in New Hampshire, and you know what? You are exactly right. To Matt Azriel, what do we know about the mom allegedly stumbling?
Okay, now Mom was at a diner at about 9:08 p.m. that night. Mom orders a corn dog to go, pays for it, doesn't take it. She comes out of the diner and reports are she stumbled and fell in the parking lot. She had appeared sleepy at times. The boy even talked to residents that they had stopped at a house at about 10 o'clock to ask for directions, and the boy even mentioned to the couple staying at the home that his mother had fallen. But police are saying that they did not believe that the fall was serious, that she just had hurt her knee.
Out to the lines, Denise, Illinois. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Nancy, how are you?
I'm good, dear. Although I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. I'm distraught about this case because we were told at the beginning that this young lady was a recovering alcoholic.
Right.
And that she had fallen off the wagon and then goes on, God help that little boy, 120-mile trek to see the grandfather. And now this. Now this.
You know what? I don't know why Susan Smith comes to mind.
Oh, well, the little boy, her three young children strapped in seatbelts. She pushes the car into the water. She's still behind bars right now, apparently queen of the jailhouse. Denise, do you have a question?
It's heartbreaking. I just wondered about if they were able to put a better timeline together, you know, with this videotape and everything. And what about the people she visited because she was lost?
Exactly. What about it, Matt Azriel? What do we know about the timeline?
Okay,
And didn't any of these people at all of these locations notice Mom stumbling drunk?
Well, there were reports that Mom appeared sleepy. I have not seen any report that she was intoxicated in any way. Now, we know after 9:08, she leaves the diner. She goes to this gas station, looks to use the phone. It's not available. About 9:50, 10 o'clock, she stops at a local resident, asks for directions, calls Grandpa at 10:10. We don't know when she left the residence. That is the last known sighting.
Tonight, the body of 8-year-old Azriel James Carver has been positively identified by Pierce County Sheriff's Department. Last seen with his mother on an 120-mile trek to go see grandfather, mother, recovering alcoholic. One of the last sightings was her at a mini mart buying a jug of wine, the little boy standing at her side.
Looks to be an abandoned car or a stolen vehicle on my beach property, and it's partially submerged.
Boy, that is really sad. And what I'm beginning to wonder if this was possibly a murder-suicide type thing. What ticks me off is Nancy just blew it off the other day when they talked about the mom being a recovering alcoholic, and all of a sudden now it becomes really important. Oh, rest in peace, little boy. Rest in peace.